Hey guys, so today we're going to be learning about exponents. We're just going to kind of jump right into these notes. So an exponent tells how many times to multiply the base by itself. And we're going to talk about what that base means in just a second. So how many times to multiply the base by itself. So that means the base is the number that's being multiplied. Okay, so let's look at these and let's determine what's what. Okay, so our base is this big number right here. So this is our base. And then this 3, this little 3 up here, that's going to be our exponent. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's say this together. So 4 to the third power. So that's how we would read this. 4 raised to this little guy, 4 to the third power. So say 4 to the third power, okay? And this means 4 times itself 3 times. So let's determine what that means. So 4 to the third, let's solve this. So that would be 4 times 4 times 4. Now notice we're multiplying this 3 times. So how many times are we going to multiply the 4 together? 4 times 4 times 4, which would be 4 3 times. Now that's different than what it would be, because a lot of times people would say, well, that means 4 times 3. No, it's 4 by itself. So 4 times 4 times 4. So we're going to multiply it together 3 times. So that would give us 64. Because I did 4 times 4, which is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. Okay, so a couple other key words that we need to learn about. Squared. You're going to hear this a good bit. So what that means, if something is squared, that means an exponent is a 2. And then we'll talk about cubed in a second. So for square, the exponent is 2. So that means 6 squared would be 6 to the second power, which means we would do 6 times 6, because we're multiplying 6 2 times. So that would give us 36. Now let's talk about another keyword, cubed. So that means the exponent, you'll see it written as a 3. Okay? So 2 cubed, so that means 2 to the third power, and that means we're going to multiply 2 3 times. So we're multiplying him 3 times. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Awesome. So guys, remember learning when you were learning area and volume in elementary school? So area is always in square units. Remember when you had to put the label on it and you had to label like feet and you would write squared? So it's the same thing. So in volume is in cubic units. That's because the area is 2-dimensional and the volume is 3-dimensional. So a square is 2D and a cube is 3D. So if it's cubed, there are multiplying 3 things. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to kind of start working with these a little bit farther. Okay, so let's write it when it's in exponential form. That means when it's written with our base and our exponent. So 10 raised to the 0. Well, we're not really multiplying anything, are we? No. So our value is going to be 1. Now this is going to be something that's a little bit funky, okay? You know how sometimes we give you those rules and we're like, guys, it is what it is? So any number to the 0 power is always 1. This one is to the 0 power, it's going to be 1. There's really not an expanded form for it because we're really not multiplying anything. So let's go ahead and let's work on the second one. So 10 to the first power. How many times am I going to multiply the 10? I'm going to be multiplying it 1 time. 10. So our value will be 10. Let's look at the second one. 10 to the second power means I'm going to be multiplying 10 2 times. 10 times 10 is 100. Okay. 10 to the third power, or also known as 10 cubed. 10 cubed. So we're going to do 10 times 10 times 10 and multiply it 3 times. So 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. 10 to the fourth power. So that means I'm going to multiply 10 4 times. So now I've multiplied 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So that's 10 multiplied 4 times. And that should give me 10,000. Now, this is kind of weird, right? So y to the 5th. Okay, guys, that means we're just going to be multiplying y 5 times. We don't have to know what y equals yet. If they gave us a number, I'm sure we could find it, but we don't have to. So y times y times y times y times y is going to equal y to the 5th. So if you notice up here, 10 to the first power, so any number to the first power, it's just going to be itself. So if it's 2 to the first power, it would be 2. If it's 5 to the first power, it'll be 5. All right, let's do a couple more practice problems. Okay, so we're going to write these in exponential form. So guys, that means we're going to have a base and an exponent. So 8 times 8 times 8. How many times are we multiplying this 8? We're going to be multiplying it 3 times. So our base is the number that we're multiplying. So this is my base. But how many times did I multiply it? 3. So that's 8 cubed, or 8 to the 3rd power. All right, let's look at the 6s. So it's 6s being multiplied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The number multiplied is 6, but we said we're multiplying it 5 times. So that's 6 to the 5th power. All right, so now it's asking us to find the value. So in order to find this, we're going to probably want to write this in expanded form. So 4 raised to the 4th. That means I'm going to be multiplying 4 times. Okay, so 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 was 64. And then we need to do 64 times 4. 16. So we have 4 times 4, which was 16. I carried my 1. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. So that means my value is 256. So 256 can also be written as 4 to the 4th power. All right, so we have 7 raised to the 3rd, or 7 cubed. So that means I'm going to be multiplying 7 3 times. 7 times 7 is 49, and then I need to do 49 times 7. So 49 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63, carrying my 6. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 6 is 34. So 343. All right. Now it's asking us to compare. Is it less than, greater than, or equal to? And guys, remember, the little alligator, he wants to eat the bigger number. So we're going to have our mouth facing the bigger number. Okay, so let's see. 11 squared. So I need to solve for that because I can't really compare these two yet. So I need to do 11 times 11 because we're multiplying it 2 times. And that's going to give me 121. So I need to look. Is 121 bigger or smaller than 110? All right, the alligator is going to want to eat that 121 because he's a bigger number. So 121 is greater than 110, or we can go back to our original and say 11 squared is greater than 110. All right, 121 to the 0 power. What happens if it's to the 0 power, guys? Remember, that always equals 1. All right, and then we're doing 2 to the 4th. So that means I'm going to multiply 2 4 times. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. All right, the alligator is going to want to eat this number, so we're going to make sure to put our mouth going that way. So 121 to the 0 power is less than 2 to the 4th power.